Greetings and felicitations to everyone and all our ships at sea. It is Wednesday night,
Sure, Mrs. America.
7 o'clock, time for sci-fi to still. Welcome back, Mary Beth. How you doing?
Hello.
You survived the
I'm excellent. We're
snowpocalypse.
dug out.
Yeah.
We're dug out of our apocalyptic snowstorm.
Oh,
So, yeah.
I was so tired digging that quarter of an inch of snow we got.
I know you're just that far north of me. I think we got about a foot here. Officially, they'd said it was a little less than that, but we shoveled.
My poor mother in Southern Connecticut. She's in Madison, Connecticut, right on the shore. She's in a condo, and they had plowed the road. They hadn't she couldn't get out of her house because she had like 2 feet of snow stacked in front of her door.
Oh my goodness!
She's like, I can't go anywhere. I mean, she was fine, but it was kind of funny.
All the people on the cruise right now, like all our Star Trek friends who are on the Star Trek cruise, they completely missed this whole event.
Well, they're gonna have to come back and dig themselves out if they live in the area. My sister who used to live up here in Vermont, who always hates winter, moved to Cape Cod to get farther south where there's less snow.
And
ironically, Cape Cod
got the brunt of it.
I know. So we were giving her crap. So I'm like, face it, it's just chasing you as you go farther south.
Where you go, it goes. We got a little bit more today, and they're calling for more like next weekend. So
we got a little dusting today. It's been a crappy winter. I am totally ready for spring and all that brings with our events. So we got news, right? News all the time.
News. As usual, I would love to hear not just Rizzo's, but everyone's opinions on the news. The Man in the High Castle. I did not get to watch that, or I didn't watch it when it was on Amazon Prime, but I have a second chance. It's coming to Netflix on March 11. Excellent. I think I'm going to check it out. Did you watch that one, Rizzo?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It is a great series. One of my favorites. That's Philip K. Dick story. It's a lot of people didn't like the ending. I won't go into the ending of it, how they closed it out. But it's a really good story. It's a little, the basis of is that it's an alternate history where the Nazis got the bomb first, and they really took over the United States, and the United States was split between the West Coast.
Yeah, the Germans
under Japanese control, and the East and the middle of the rest of the country pretty much under German. And the Nazis are still around, and it's disturbing to see that in a lot of ways, but it's an excellent show.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Moving on with the news, Hulu, surprise, Hulu had a big hit with 2025's Paradise, and I confess I binge watched it. It was quite good. This is the gripping thriller starring Sterling K. Brown and James Marsden. If you don't recognize those names, you will recognize their faces. The show begins as a simple murder mystery, but it's later revealed to be part of a much larger post-apocalyptic sci-fi conspiracy. So before season 1 even ended, Hulu renewed it for season 2. And season 1 just went off the air last year, and they already are ready. Season 2 is filmed, wrapped, and on the air already. The first 3 episodes of season 2 dropped not yesterday, but the day before. So if you have been watching Paradise, season 2 is up and running already. It's good. It's really good.
I'll have to add that to my watch list.
Add it to your watch list.
Yes. I think this week doesn't Apple drops Monarch.
Yes, Monarch Legacy of Monsters drops, and I gave the date in a previous news segment. I can look that up real quick. But yes,
tomorrow. I want to say it's
there's a couple of things coming. This
or the 28th, one or the other.
28, 27. Something's dropping on the 27. I want to watch too.
Yeah.
Are you watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I watched the first episode of it.
Oh, okay.
And I just haven't come back to it. I wasn't I didn't dislike it, but I just wasn't super drawn in. It was kind of cute.
Okay. I loved it.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't, like I said, I really don't have, I'm non-opinioned on it right now.
Yeah, no, I think you should give it another try. It's only 6 episodes, and they're between 30, they're not even full hours. But it's kind of Game of Thrones light, sort of.
Yeah,
but anyway,
that's what I gathered.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms already shooting season 2, on track for a 2027 debut. And season 2 is gonna be just like season 1, 6 episodes between 30 and 60 minutes. And there are rumors, and again, this is a rumor, this is not confirmed, but rumors are circulating that Henry Cavill has been cast as Damon Blackfire. But again, that is not confirmed. I really enjoyed the second to last episode is excellent, and the last episode is really good. You go back and try it again.
Yeah, I think you said it wasn't like a conscious effort not to watch it. It just my wife wasn't Liz wasn't interested because I said, you want to watch this, and she's like, yeah. So I was like, so I watch it when like she's away doing something, and I just haven't had a time to come back to it. So that's really
that's fine. We're the same way. Like we have to agree on what we're watching always. But I want to thank Hulu and HBO for churning stuff out and not making us wait 3 years between seasons. That's always good. In 2 different examples of giving fans what they want, but not how they want it. Red Dwarf fans can get a new Red Dwarf fix in book form. Red Dwarf creator Rob Grant is returning to the sci-fi franchise for a new release. It's called Red Dwarf Titan. It is a novel. It is coming out on July 16th. So those of you who love Red Dwarf, maybe you want to read some, maybe you don't. I don't know. And then in other news, so when Picard season 3 ended, everyone was, legacy 7 of 9 needs a spin-off, Well, that is still not happening. But the comic books took the idea and ran with it. IDW Publishing is going to publish a new ongoing series written by Christopher Cantwell and drawn by Dennis Manair. And this is basically what the fans wanted. This is what happens to 7 of 9 after Picard ends. The exact details are under wraps, but she will be on the Enterprise NCC 1701G. Yeah. Where did we leave off from Picard? I guess G.
That's G. That's the G.
That's G.
Yeah.
Okay.
What AKA used to be the Titan.
It used to be the Titan, exactly. To travel to a hidden region of space to confront a massive threat to the Federation. So good for you, IDW, and good for you, whoever's publishing the Red Dwarf book. People want stuff, and we don't always get it the way we want it. So this tries. All right. In real world news, the Artemis unfortunately has been delayed again. They are now looking at an April launch date. I guess there was something going on. Helium was not flowing.
There was a yep. Yeah, it was helium paper. They had to roll it back to the assembly building.
They had to roll it all the way back to the vehicle assembly building.
Bad. That's not good. I mean, it's not good. Obviously, that means that definitely it's a bigger delay than I think they wanted to have. But the key is that we want this thing to be safe, and they're going to take all precautions. And these have living astronauts on them. Not
of course. No, we're not going to go off like half tested or whatever. It needs to be right. Before we finish off with our Galileo update, I want to say hi to Jeff, and John Capes is here, and Captain Phil is here. Hi guys, how is everything tonight? Oh, and Dr. Alexander is here. Hi Doc. You can probably tell us better about.
Yeah, right. Should give us the
Artemis. We're all bummed that it got rolled back, Doc. We were all excited.
We were getting. I know it's getting. Well, at least I was able to finish my Lego model of it.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I have it. I have the nice one with the gantry and everything. So that's So I'm ready for launch. They're not. I am.
Oh, Doc says helium in the interstage pressurization tanks. In order to get to the system, could not do that. Oh, they couldn't fix it out on the pad, I guess, due to the winds.
Yes.
So back to the assembly building, which I don't know how much of a process that is to move.
Get Scotty on it. You'll be up and running in a week.
Yeah, where's Scotty? He'll tell you. Yeah, he'll tell you a week, but he'll get it done.
I'm telling you, it was Mr. 7 there out on the gantry there with what's fussing with it.
Agent, yeah. Is he Agent?
Gary 7. Gary 7.
Gary 7, just Gary 7.
Oh, no. I was going to do that, actually. I was going to put that on my Lego model, see if I could find a little guy in a suit laying and put him on laying down on the.
Could you even make him a tiny little
yeah, well, that would get pretty small. I mean, the scale of the model is
really tiny.
Small, so all right.
No,
was that all our news?
One more thing. Dr. Alexander has added that it looks like a similar problem to Artemis 1. So if it's the same problem, it should be a fairly fast fix. That's great. So they're looking at April Fool's Day. No,
no,
Doc.
It's probably not a
Don't
good
launch
idea.
on that day.
It's just bad mojo.
It's just bad mojo. Ugh. All right, finally in the news tonight, and Rizzo, you can help me with this one. Let me actually look, and I'll tell you the exact number. The Galileo shuttlecraft Kickstarter has reached its second.
We're almost at 180,000. We are like this close to
179.9. We're like $88 away.
$88 away from 180,000. But we are really. I mean, now. So the cool thing was, because I'm obviously more involved since I've been doing some of the promotional work for them. So some of the videos and stuff you've seen is my work. Thank you. Thank you very much. But so last Sunday was an amazing 24 hours. Yes. We ended up over $30,000 in so we hit the first stretch goal on Sunday morning at the 150. We hit the second stretch goal, I think, by Monday morning, like within 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, it was just unbelievable. Yeah. So we really want to keep the momentum. There are some more cool stuff that's going to be released. I can't tell you what it is because it's going to be a surprise, but keep checking. Yes. Keep checking the Kickstarter if you're interested. There's going to be some more cool perks that you can add on or upgrade your current pledge. And of course, if you haven't pledged any amount, we appreciate.
Still cool stuff to come.
But it's going to be really cool. Please. We hit that 250K. If we hit the 250K, that video wall is going to be awesome.
Yeah, we should explain that the third stretch goal is for the video wall. For the it's like the volume. Remember you heard us talk about the volume. Kind of like that, except not as big and not
it's going to be basically a wall that's going to the back wall is going to be one whole screen that we can change and we can make it.
And that way we can make it look like it's landed on a planet, make it look like it's flying in space, make it look like it's,
going to be cool. Yeah.
Whatever.
It could look like
in a much bigger hangar bay, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, guys, it just would be so cool if we could do that.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll hope in there. But the good news is we have plenty of money to build the building. We have plenty of money to work on the interior to make it look. We have enough money now to build the observation deck, which will be the entryway to as you walk still in the main building before you get to the hangar where the it's going to be really cool.
Those of you who have been to the Star Trek Set tour before, if you've ever joined us on one of the occasions when we start the tours at the other door, at the far end, we don't do it that often, but sometimes we do. That area is going to be the observation.
We're going to have windows in this observation, but the windows are actually going to be monitors. So when you look into this window, it's going to look like you're looking down into the Enterprise shuttle bay, like it was supposed to be on the show, but they never showed you that because they didn't have the money to build that part.
Do it. Yeah,
but we're going to do it.
Really, really cool. So please, and guys, if you can't give, could you please share this? Please share it because the more exposure we can give it, the better it is.
I mean, just so you guys know, there's only 451. People have backers. People have pledged. So all that money has come out of 400. How many millions, I should say, of Star Trek fans are out there? And if they all gave us $1,
Doug Drexler's, by comparison, Doug Drexler's Kickstarter, and I can't remember what his final tally was, but he had 1,400 backers. So, and we only have 400, so we could get another 1,000 backers.
Yeah. So amazing what we could do.
Oh, David's here. David said sharing is caring. Captain Phil is asking if one of the stretch goals is space.
Well, actually, Phil, that's what we could do with the volume wall.
That's what we could do with the screen.
We could put the big gorilla guy with bouncing on the rock probably on. We could do that. So there you go. So I mean, it might be kind of hard to do with the ship in front of it to see him banging, but we could probably, Darren, I'm sure is going to do a lot of these backgrounds and stuff for us, and he's just great. So
yeah, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing.
So yeah, you might actually get that in a way, Phil.
David Harvey, if you're still out there, is there anything else we should add? I think we covered everything, but if you guys can help us hit that third goal, that would just be so
amazing.
It's so meaningful to us.
We've got a little over 2 weeks left to go.
And Phil's still talking about electrifying the outside, which they did do in that one episode. Yeah, we've got 2.
Just for you, Phil. I have a car battery with your name on it.
Yeah. Just for when you visit. Anything could happen. Yeah, David says anything could happen with a volume wall.
Yeah.
We could do all kinds of fun stuff.
So yeah.
Yes,
so I don't. All right.
Mike has already taken his accolades, David.
Well, I did not say. I just said I was working on stuff.
No, you were like, I'm working on it. Thank you.
Working on that. Just like the David Hawking thing when
I made little videos. You saw those. All right, guys.
We're gonna get a few promos. That's all I said.
All right, guys. Rizzo, what are we drinking tonight while we laugh at the Galileo and talk about
the Apocalypse? Jim Beam Black Straight Bourbon Extra Aged. I've never tried that. I'm not usually a Jim Beam guy for bourbon, but it might be good since it's the higher end.
Peppermint schnapps.
Yeah, 101 peppermint drop. That'll definitely light your fire. Stoli vodka and espresso liqueur. Yeah, it might not be a bad drink, actually.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You usually give us a really cool, sweet kind of drink, but I'm not sure how I feel about Jim Beam and peppermint. And
the peppermint schnapps I'm a little sus about, but the rest of it probably with the espresso liqueur could be good. Could be good. Hey, this is what I found. I try to find drinks related to the films.
We don't. So, confession to our audience, we don't usually get to taste the drinks.
No, because I can't keep buying all these different liquors. I'd go bankrupt. So I wish I could. Some of them I have made, not all of them, by any means. But hey, it is the art show. So, all right. So I do have one question for you, though, Mary Beth, before we get into the movie. You've been watching Starfleet Academy since the beginning. You told me you liked it. Are you still like? I couldn't get past the first episode.
I let it wash over me, is what I told you.
You let it wash over. So is it still washing?
It washes just fine.
It's still washing.
Because I had a revelation. That's where the kids live nowadays, and I can't move them. I kind of wish they'd have their own stuff and not mess with ours, but that's where the kids live nowadays.
Fair enough. I don't know how it's doing rating wise.
I don't think it's doing.
You hear all conflicting stuff. I know it hasn't made it in even Paramount. I know it hasn't made it into even Paramount's top 10.
No.
For rating, so that's kind of bad because it's supposed to be one of their flagship shows. So, but we're gonna get a season 2 because they've already shot it.
They've wrapped it. They just wrapped it.
So we're gonna get it whether you like it or not. Whether there's gonna be a season 3, I don't know. I think.
Chris is asking about the interior of the shuttle. Yeah, I believe there will be some version of the interior, but I'm not sure.
There's been talk. James is going to do it. What he has said is, and again, don't quote me as this is gospel, but it will be screen accurate in the sense that, when they on the show, when they had the shuttle and the doors would open and the characters would come in and out, you would see a little bit of the interior just from the outside. And that's what he's going to build enough so that you can see there'd be a wall, there may be a chair, that kind of thing. Remember, it's not full size.
Yes, everyone get real clear on this. When they shot, when you think of Galileo 7 and you saw interior scenes where they were all inside, that was not actually completely different set. Yeah. And it would not actually fit. Like, you cannot pick that set up and put it inside. It's too big.
We figured roughly it's about 3/4 of the Galileo itself is 3/4 of the size of what it should be to fit that set.
It.
So anyway, yeah. So there may be but probably not right away, Chris.
Yeah,
I don't know that James is. That's all on James, because the problem is there's the door mechanism there that those doors slide and that takes up space, and it's not as easy as you think as just finishing the interior. So I know there's challenges to it.
Phil, James will keep the giant space amoeba in the same place he keeps those cavemen.
Yeah, there's no plans to build there's no plans that I know of to build
for photo ops.
To build that.
Sorry, Chris. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't think that's right now on. That's certainly not part of the Kickstarter. Let's put it that way.
It's not part
James
of the
may do it on his own,
and I'm not wholly certain where it could go.
James does have the original chair, the pilot's chair, which were made for that, so he can make more of them from that as molds. Those 2 pilot chairs were unique. The rest of the chairs were just the regular Burke chairs.
Regular chairs.
Yeah. So I don't know what his plan is. I think he talked about doing the control console, but that was just chit chat.
Yeah, guys, in a sci-fi distilled breaking news first, James is going to be we're going to be putting up, he's going to be doing a tour in March. And so you know what, if you want, go take that tour and ask him these questions, because you know he will tell you.
Yeah, he's the guy to ask, not us.
Watch our website. That information will be coming up soon.
Absolutely. So okay. Are we shuttled out for the moment?
Are we shuttled out? We can always go back.
We can shuttle on.
We know everyone's excited. I'm excited. It's okay.
All right. All right. Damnation Alley, 1977. Jan Michael Vincent and George Papard. This, I was about 10 when this movie was made. I didn't see it in the theater. I don't think I saw it. It actually didn't air on television until about 1983, which is interesting. So I think that's probably the first time I saw it. I know I didn't see it in the theater, but I don't know. Is this movie always is kind of one of those movies you remember from a kid, and it just sticks with you? Probably because those Landmasters, those big truck things, which there was only actually one of. They only actually built one.
There's only one.
Yeah, they only built the one.
Should we actually start with the Landmaster, because that was okay? Here, all right, Rizzo. Full disclosure to everyone watching, listening. Full disclosure. Rizzo and I have been doing the show. We're coming up on our 6th year, so that's at least a couple hundred TV shows and films.
Yeah, I don't know, too many to count.
And I always, he sent me a lot of stuff to watch, and I always try to find something good. And if I don't love it, I do the research, and usually there's something to admire. Like they really worked hard on that, or ooh, that was groundbreaking. This is the first movie that we've ever watched that I have to honestly go, you know what? Maybe not my cup of tea. Maybe not my thing. And I'm trying. I'm like, okay, I'll do the research and I'll find out stuff. And the thing I found out was about this Landmaster. So can we just talk about this vehicle for a second? Because it's actually pretty cool.
It actually was pretty cool, and it actually worked. I mean, for the most part.
It was so over-engineered. It really worked. It was so tough.
Yeah, they actually jumped it like 25 feet or something. Yeah. It did, and actually it's very unique. It steers by articulating in the middle. That's how, because I always wondered, like, you never see the front tires turn. So yeah, the whole thing.
They can't turn. It's this tri-wheel.
But they have these wheels, but they're cool because they could rotate. Like they did a bump and it would rotate. It was a really neat design. It really was, and for the time, it was pretty cool, and it had very. You guys might remember a Saturday morning cartoon, or I shouldn't say cartoon, it was live action, called Arc 2, which had a very similar vehicle, but it wasn't as cool as the Landmaster.
Yeah. No, the Landmaster is cool. They described it as it was armored. It was basically an armored vehicle, or like a small tank. And those tri-wheels actually worked brilliantly. And so now I'm like, well, how come we don't actually use those? Like,
why don't we use that design? It must have some flaws.
Why don't we use that design? Like, the whole thing was actually kind of genius.
I loved it. I loved how they made it, and I know they faked it, but when they were going at the very end, when the flood comes and in the water, and but they're using the wheels that as a rotating as paddles. Yeah. I thought that was really clever. You could tell though that from the shots, the aerial shots of it, it's not really moving. It's just kind of sitting. They must have propped it up so that the wheels were off the ground and just let those things spin. But anyway, I'm sure it didn't float.
I think this vehicle has a lot in common with the Galileo, not to get us back to the shuttle, but because one, the inside and the outside were 2 different sets. Like, they weren't filming inside.
Clearly, yes.
The inside is just basically 2
chairs.
They
didn't show a lot of the interior, honestly.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah, no, the
cockpit a little bit.
Well, that's where the girl was taking the shower. Like, there was some stuff going on in there, but whatever.
Oh yeah, it was big enough for them to live in.
Yeah, they were living in it. And then, just like the Galileo, it's kind of been handed from owner to owner, and then it was left on a lot and it rusted for a bit, and now someone else has it and they're restoring it.
Yeah,
so it reminds me of the Galileo so much.
Yeah, it has a very similar kind of history where it got bounced around from one collector to another.
It got used in other shows, like other, it was, how Hollywood is. They reuse everything. So it was like laying around the lot, and they were like, we'll use that. That'll work. Because it looks so cool and it just looks so different,
So John Cave's saying that Damnation marketing money to Star Wars.
Yes, they
decided
did.
Star Wars was the movie they wanted. Well, They weren't
Alan
wrong.
Ladd. Yes, he did. Alan Ladd did that. Yes.
So, and they did edit the movie down. I mean, it's only like an hour and a half, and they did edit it down from its original. I think there was more to it because it does kind of end sort of abruptly. And
it does, but what happened was they did not tell the director, who is Jack Smite. They did not tell him, oh, hey, we've given all your money to this other thing called Star Wars. And he went to film his big grand finale with the worldwide storm or whatever the hell the ending was. And there was no budget left. And that's how he found out. And they freaked out. Like, there were so many things that kind of got short. Oh, and then we need to talk about the sky later, how they did the sky. But like, there were so many things that just got cut short because they had no more money. This poor movie, like, it could have been so much better. It really could have been so much better. It just suffered.
So what we're talking about. So those of you who don't know, it's a post-apocalyptic story where the basically there's these two Air Force officers. They're somewhere in the West Coast. They're responsible. They're for launching the missiles. So we get attacked. The United States gets attacked. We retaliate. End of the world. And then we fast forward about a year later. I think it's about a year later, and the Earth has been knocked off its axis. That's such a trope that we think that's going to happen. I don't know if that's even based in science at all. If we could drop enough bombs on the planet to knock it off its axis. But anyway, so the weather's all screwed up, and we have these weird storms, and of course, the lovely trope that we always have with nuclear war movies or radiation is we have giant insects. And man-eating cockroaches and giant scorpions. And this is what I was saying. This is like the precursor to Fallout. This is like right after the war.
This made nuclear war look like a drag, man.
It was, well, I don't think would be fun for anybody. But so they have these. The Air Force apparently had built these. Why they built these Landmasters, and they were getting a signal from Albany, New York, of all places, and they decide that they're going to go after there's an explosion at the base. They decide they're going to, and everybody's dead except for these three guys. They're going to go across the country in these Landmasters. And of course, adventures ensue, and they meet people along the way and pick up people, and people die, and people, so yeah. So that's kind of the basic story.
So this was based on a book. The book is both Hugo and Nebula award winning. The book is quite good. And of course, I think the studio just thought, well, of course, this will make a great movie. But then the book is character driven, and the book is really, not about flashy killer cockroaches and things like that. It's what happens to people at the end of the world or on this trip. What happens to this guy on this trip? And in the book, he's actually bringing medicine to Boston, but that's neither here nor there. So the studio kept saying it needs to be like flashier. Like, you need to add all this extra stuff to make it more, how Hollywood is. And they just, by the end, the author didn't recognize it. It was unrecognizable. They changed the plot. They changed the characters. They changed pretty much everything. And the author was like, okay, I think I hate this. And that was the end of that, they just did not do it justice at all.
So those that are interested, Doc Alexander is explaining the whole possibility of the Earth tilt.
Geological events, but not human activity.
So anyway, and of course, that was, I guess, was the implication was the big storm at the end, the big apocalyptic storm, was the Earth coming back onto its axis or something. I think that was the implication. And of course, they reach Albany, and Albany is like untouched. And of course, it cracks me up because Albany's a city like any, if you've ever been to Albany, but then they make it like it's this little farm town. Like, of course, they only show like one little part of it, but it doesn't. It's not a city.
Nukes that came in, Albany should have been irradiated just by secondhand radiation. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have. It should not be.
Well, I always, I grew up. That's what we were talking about. Those of us probably that are Gen X and and I'm sure boomers as well. We grew up under the Cold War. And to me, and I don't know, like growing up in the 70s, nuclear war was a real fear for kids. I mean, that was probably like, if you had to ask what was the most thing you were most scared of in the world, it was that, because you kept hearing about it, could happen. And, and then you have movies like this that show you that, everything's blown. And I lived in Southern Connecticut. Southern Connecticut would have been a smoking hole because all of our defense contractors are in Connecticut. Electric Boat, they make the submarines. You have Pratt Whitney makes aircraft engines. Sikorsky Aircraft makes the helicopters. It just keeps going on. Remington Arms.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm outside of Boston, and there's a couple things around
so
here.
Anything, I always thought, well, I won't know it because we'll just be blown to bits. We'll be like the first people they want to destroy because they.
So,
but anyway,
I don't know how Albany survived, but Albany survived.
Yeah, I would have thought somebody like someplace in Vermont,
Chris, I'm just young enough that I didn't have bomb drills, but I remember people talking about it. Like I remember.
Yeah, we didn't have bomb drills, but it was always there, on the news, and it was that
always there because the Cold War was on.
The Cold War, yeah, it was that nuclear threat of all the time, and really there was when the Soviet Union in the early 90s finally fell, there was almost like I had a moment of relief. Oh, but now we're right back where we are,
Yeah, of course.
What the hell's gonna happen?
So in this movie, guys, it escalates very quickly. Like one minute you see the guys in the missile base like getting coffee or whatever, and the next minute they're like, "Oh, I guess we're watching."
Like I said, it's a very short movie. It's 90 minutes, so it goes by. Yeah, it goes pretty quick, and really they don't even get into the Landmaster. It takes them 25 minutes into the movie before they even roll out the damn thing. So considering, but I don't know. I found it entertaining at least enough. I still watched it. I still kind of found it entertaining. I thought the scene in with the cockroaches, with the killing cockroaches, which are Madagascar cockroaches, by the way. They are that big. Yeah. They're hissing and they hiss. Those are real. They did use a lot of real ones for the close-ups and rubber ones.
They tried so hard to get the effect to make it look like there was millions of them, and it just didn't work. So they created a fake bunch of rubbers, and they just kind of pulled it. And
you could tell.
Looks like you're dragging a rug, and it looks like that. But there's so many things about this movie that they were so ambitious. Like the scene with the motorcycle and the scorpions. They tried robot scorpions, or that did not look, or rubber doll. I don't know what they were. That did not look right. So then they're like, okay, we'll get real scorpions and we'll composite it. And that didn't really work as well either, but they had really, really big ideas, and they were just a hair ahead of their time. I think if you could remake this movie today with modern CGI and stuff, I think it could be a really cool movie. And just change the pacing a little bit, change some.
Rewrite it, modernize it, but I think it could be cool. I think it could be done well. I think it would look better. They did, like you said, you were talking about the effect. They did have that sky effect, which was kind of cool. That there's some kind of weird radiation in the sky and the lightning.
It was in every single scene. The studio decided that sunny blue skies just didn't look threatening enough, so they asked for this, and they asked for this after the movie wrapped. So they had to do this post-production, and it was they were basically rotoscoping every single scene. It took them 10. I don't know if it was rotoscoping. I don't know what it was that they did, but it took them 10 months. 10 months to do every single sky scene to make it look like this, and it pushed the release date back. And so by the time this thing got released, Star Wars had already come and gone, and that just took all the air out of their sails. I think they would have done better if they could have beat Star Wars to the theater.
Yeah, but then again, who knew? Star Wars, nobody thought Star Wars was going to be anything.
Did. He took all their budget and gave
it. Probably after he saw the thing and he went, "Whoa, this thing's going to be huge." But
I looked at the two movies.
But originally, though, it was that's why Lucas took the merchandising as part of his pay, because which was, who knew? I don't know if he really understood at the time, or he was just, because he ended up making. And the studio got nothing out of the merchandising. It all went to Lucas.
Yeah.
So, which they're probably kicking themselves massively hard, because that went on forever. As far as the money machine for that. But anyway, it's sad. I just remember this as kind of the movie of the week, Sunday night movie, Monday night movie kind of thing. And again, it was something I remember watching as a kid. I was probably, it says it didn't air on TV till 83, right around the same as The Day After, which was another post-apocalyptic movie. It was more realistic.
That one, the day after, they sent notes home with us at school saying this thing is airing on TV, and watch your children if they watch it because it can be very traumatic.
It was scary. It was again. It just kind of drove home even more. That and I was probably about 15, 16 then. So
we should do that. That's a movie we should do sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to try and find it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I vaguely remember. I did see it when I was a kid. When it was on, I watched it when it aired. But I don't know if I've seen it since.
Day After and Threads. Those are both two horrifying post-nuclear war movies. Doc and John both agree the movie could be redone. John says keep the killer cockroaches. Doc says keep the Landmaster. I agree.
Keep them both.
Keep them both.
Keep the giant scorpions. I mean,
keep it all, but just do it now with modern effects.
I mean, it's essentially, like you said, we talk about Fallout, but there's a Fallout has giant scorpions and giant cockroaches. Yeah. Rad. They always everything is rad. Everything in that game, rad scorpions. Rad cockroaches. Everything's rad this, rad that. And it's always bigger and meaner. I was kind
of like disappointed. So I'm watching the movie and I'm like, this is not that good. But it had an amazing cast. Like with the cast that it had, it should have been awesome. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't push back with some of their lines and stuff.
Well, I don't think Jan Michael Vincent really wasn't the best actor in the world.
No, but they were pushing him. They wanted to have hang on, I know who they wanted to have. Instead of Jan Michael Vincent, they were trying to get Steve McQueen, who's a little bit older, but it would have worked. And he just wanted too much money. So they were like, okay, we'll get Jan Michael Vincent. And he hadn't done, what did he do? Airwolf or?
Airwolf, yeah, is what he's really known for, yeah.
Or Blue Thunder. Yeah, I guess
no,
Airwolf.
Blue Thunder was Roy Scheider.
Okay, Roy Scheider. So yeah, he hadn't done Airwolf yet. So you're right. He wasn't super well known, but he was just kind of starting. He was kind of starting to get a few things. And then they wanted Nick Nolte for George Peppard's part. But he actually criticized the script. He was like, oh no, this is a horrible script. And so they're like, eh. And so they got George Peppard. But this thing was had all kinds of problems from the get-go. And when you watch other people talking about this movie, there were some not so great things happening. I don't want to dig too deep into any of this, but I guess Peppard and Jan Michael Vincent didn't get along. And then Jan Michael Vincent maybe went on a peyote bender for a couple days. I don't know what was going on.
What's the 70s?
I don't know what was going on.
It was the 70s, so.
It was the 70s. It just sounds like there were issues. And then, of course, they had production issues, and then they had all the special effects issues, and then they found out their budget had been given to Star Wars. So this poor movie, it deserves a second chance. It really
That's what I'm saying. I think they always talk about going back to the well. I think this is one of the films that they could go back to the well and potentially make something good from it.
Yeah.
I think there's potential with it, and I think if they, with modern technology.
Yeah, the book was not an adventure going across the country. The book was a character-driven drama, and maybe do it like that. The book is really, like I said, it won both a Hugo and a Nebula. So
I've never read the book, so I cannot speak to that.
I haven't read it either, but now I'm kind of curious.
Yeah. So yeah, Jeff saying surprised. I would have been surprised if they could have afforded McQueen as well. I mean, that's. But I think George Peppard is perfect in this role. I mean, he is he plays that military guy well.
He is. He's pretty. But they say it's because he really didn't like Jan Michael Vincent. That's why he always looks kind of in all his scenes.
I could see it. I could see how their personalities would clash. They do in the movie, so that kind of works.
Because George Peppard was old school and he was, classically trained, and Jan Michael Vincent was one of the young guys who just show up and start acting one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So of course they were going to clash a little. But this movie
he was Jan Michael Vincent. He was a face. He was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Acting,
this movie also had one of my all-time favorites. One of my all-time favorites, Paul Winfield.
Paul Winfield, yeah.
Who then went on to
Khan.
Yes. Yeah, I love him in everything he does.
Yeah. He's passed away, I believe, right?
Even he couldn't save this movie.
Yeah, no. Well, he didn't have a huge part. His part was fairly small, and you knew he wasn't going to make it. You just knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah. I have no idea who the woman was. She is not familiar to me.
Dominique Sonda. She has some stuff. She's done some stuff, but yeah, she's not anywhere. I don't think known very much.
And then the other kind of interesting character who I know best as Rorschach in
Rorschach. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie Earl Haley. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He was like, that kid was, when he was a kid, he was ubiquitous in the 70s. He was in
he was Bad News
everything because they needed a kid.
Yep.
He was just in so many things back then. And I really didn't see him again until I'm sure he did stuff, but didn't really see him again until he did the Rorschach character in what the heck?
He got work. You just didn't,
I'm just saying, I don't think I really saw him. Watchmen. That's what I was trying to think of.
The Watchmen. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you go back to the 70s, he was like in the Waltons. He was in Bad News Bears. He was Damnation Alley. Planet of the Apes, the TV show. You know what I'm saying? It was like.
He does have a big. Oh, no, wait. 79. And then 83, and then 85, and then a break till 91, 92, and then another break till 2006.
Yeah, so it's like, he was like the
and then wow, look at him after 2006. He did tons of stuff. RoboCop. The new RoboCop.
Yeah, he got, I think Watchmen kind of gave him a new lease on life, so to speak.
Shutter Island, Watchmen. Yeah. So, and then the other person in this movie that he had a part with lines and everything was Murray Hamilton. And we know Murray Hamilton best as the mayor in Jaws.
Yeah, exactly.
You know which one? He's wearing the suit. He's wearing that jacket. And he had this whole thing, and they cut it all. And so all you see is him standing in the back looking confused. And then you see him get killed. And you're like, are we supposed to care that this guy just got killed? Well, you would have if you'd seen all the cut scenes. And I guess when they released this thing on TV, they did director's cuts on TV. So those people have seen those edited scenes. But
Yep. Martin, my kids were on that beach too.
Yeah. Man, they offered
that. Wouldn't you get your name in the National Geographic?
They offered it to They offered it to Robert Wise and Douglas Trumbull. I think I don't know. It would have been I wonder how it would have been if they had done it.
I don't know. Like you said, if the budget got cut, you really can't say. I think for what they had to work with, I think, like I said, the movie, again, you have to look at it. This is 1977. I never knew it, honestly, that it was. I didn't know about that. It had basically been up against Star Wars. It never even occurred to me.
Well, like
so I said, I can see where they just got kicked to the curb. So. Especially once that success hit, nobody was going to watch this movie as far as science fiction goes, and people didn't want. You got to remember, after Star Wars, all people wanted was space adventure.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted apocalypse.
Not sci-fi adventure on Earth. No. Space adventure in space. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. They want space adventure. So that's how we got Battlestar. We got Buck Rogers. We got, those kinds of things. So they're trying to feed the machine with that. And really, we got some good stuff out of that. You can make your arguments, but whether, any of it was good or bad. But TV was never the medium for space adventures back then. They couldn't, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
So then that's what killed Battlestar. It wasn't the ratings. It was ABC said, we can't afford to keep making this.
Yeah, which is why when you watch Battlestar, you see stuff recycled.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely recycle tons of shots. They did the same thing in Buck Rogers.
Yeah.
They had, which was the same producer. So,
yeah.
Which I think we've covered that in previous shows.
Yes, I think we have too. So this wasn't my cup of tea. I appreciate the work that went into the Landmaster. I appreciate that they had so many troubles on set and that this director was under pressure. Like, he was under the gun. And then when it was all done, they were like, the studio was like, hey, do the sky for us. And so 10 more months of work. I appreciate all of that. But this thing could have been so much better. It really could have.
I agree. It could have.
Rare for me to say that about a movie,
Yeah. Now, just so everybody knows, I did give Mary Beth the option.
Yeah, I asked for the day after tomorrow.
You recommended it, and I said, "Well, which one do you want to do?" You pick, and you're like, "I don't care."
No, that's not what happened. Should I tell them what you said?
Go ahead. Tell me what I said.
me pull it up so I can read it word for word. Hang on. We were discussing what to do. Let me scroll back here.
You said whatever. I said, which one do you want to do? And you were like, I go either way, or so you said something to that effect.
No.
No. Okay, we're gonna roll this.
Hang on, I'm going back to get your exact word so that so the audience can be as horrified as I was. So here we go. We did Damnation. I said, do you have a preference? I said I got nothing to do with watch because this was the day of the blizzard. I got nothing to do with watch snow tomorrow, so either is fine. And you said, I think our audience would prefer Damnation Alley.
I agree, and I'll stick with that.
And they are old.
That's fine.
Audience,
I am perfectly. I'm not ashamed that's you guys are old.
And I said that
I'm old.
not sure
you're old.
They would think of that.
All right, all right. Let's poll then. Would you rather done this? Would you rather had us do this movie or the day after tomorrow?
I'm just putting that out there. I wanted the Blizzard movie to
Phil's on my side. Thinks it's the better movie.
What? Phil, you do not think that. What? No. No, I want it.
You're gonna have to concede that I was right on that point.
Audience, he called you old. Fight
old man Cape's here. They know they're old. Thank you. We're all old. No. We're all old. We're not even middle-aged anymore, most of us here, guys. I'm not living to 116.
You're killing me.
So
no, Chris is vintage. He's not old, he's vintage.
Vintage. All right. Well. You're a classic, Chris. You're a classic.
Dr. Alexander's been incinerated. Well, guys, I tried to get you a more modern movie that was timely.
And you know what? We could still do it, but I gave you could have said, no, I really want to do the day after tomorrow, and I would have been fine. But you did not assert yourself. You should have asserted yourself.
But now here we are with the truck going across the desert with giant scorpions.
Because those of us that saw it when we were kids liked it. Right?
John's going to live to 104.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. Modern science.
Phil,
I rest my case.
Is probably the least the last cheesy giant bug movie until Host and Cloverfield. Yeah, that's right. Like there was a slew of them in the 50s, and then there was no more giant bug movies.
Yeah, that was the trope. Radiation would make everything get giant for some reason. Even the 50-foot woman, I think that. Oh no, that was Aliens or something.
That's getting remade.
Again, that's been already remade like twice at least. But yeah, in the 50s, all radiation caused everything to go giant or shrink. Remember that was Incredible Shrinking Man or something where he keeps getting smaller?
Or go invisible. I mean, radiation can do a lot of things to you. And
it just kills you is what it does. It causes you to get nasty cancer or you die right away. One or the other.
Nasty cancer or you die right away.
It's like you don't get superpowers from it. Sorry. That's comic book.
Or you're Deadpool, maybe. He had cancer.
You're Deadpool. Well, no, that wasn't radiation. He got some kind of drug.
Oh, you're Spider-Man. Spider-Man got bit by an irradiated spider, I thought.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't happen.
Oh, wait. Phil does want to do the Incredible Shrinking Man.
I think I remember seeing that. That was another one that kind of disturbed me because at the end it doesn't end. It doesn't end happily.
No, it doesn't.
So
John is arguing that Aliens is kind of like the new giant bug. Yeah, John?
Xenomorphs, yeah. I don't know. Those are kind of different. The giant bugs, I remember in the 50s they had, what was the name of them? Was it them that had the giant ants?
Yeah, maybe them.
Them, yeah. And then there was the other one that had the ants that got intelligent. What was the name of that one? But they didn't grow big, but they got smart. Like they became like a.
Was it in the 50s?
No, I think it was later. It was like 60s or early 70s.
Was it called Phase 4?
Phase 4.
In 1974?
Yeah. That was another creepy one.
Well, we're leaning into Roy's territory here, but yeah, why not?
Well, we could still do that.
Phil knew Phase 4, right? Phil, how did you know this? Like, I had to Google it.
Because Phil's he's old.
Phil knows all the movies. Phil, because Phil watched Roy's tie-dye sci-fi, and he does.
I'm pretty sure Roy might have done that. I think
Roy definitely did this one. I know he did.
I know he did too. Yes, I know he did too. So you could have watched Roy's show, called it back up, and then
I tried. I looked for it and I couldn't find it. I couldn't.
I think it was a while ago.
Facebook got rid of a bunch of his stuff. So.
Oh yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, Facebook is not keeping all of the stuff anymore. So, but he didn't do the day after tomorrow. So see that.
So we could do the day after tomorrow,
or the day after, not to be confused with the day after tomorrow.
Or the day. Don't. I'd rather do the day after tomorrow because
that was the one where everything froze, right?
I mean, sorry. Yeah, I'd rather just do the day after. That's the nuclear holocaust one. Yeah.
Okay. So Empire of the Ants, that's another. Yeah, I remember that one. Yep. And then of course there's the one with Shatner there, the spider one, Kingdom of the Spider.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yes.
So this thing had a great cast. It was based off of wonderful source material, and they had big dreams and they had great ideas, and none of it quite.
Yeah, it just sounded like they got a lot of bad luck. Like I said, I think the cast was decent, and I think they had the Landmaster, so that must have cost quite a bit to build. That must have took a chunk of the budget. But again, that's those of us that watched it back in the day. That's what we remember. That's what sticks in our head is those damn Landmasters. So that's all we wanted we wanted that truck. I still would love it. Can you imagine driving around town in that thing?
I think it would eat up the roads.
You just crush people. It's kind of the feeling like when I was in the service, I got to drive a Deuce and a Half, which is a really big truck. And they're huge. And they're not fast, but they're very powerful. They're 6-wheel drive. And I drove one through St. Pete downtown, and it's like you're in this thing, and the bumper is like taller than most cars.
Yeah. You have to climb
and
up.
You're just like, I could just put this thing in 6-wheel drive in low range and just drive over everybody. Yeah. Just keep going. So that's you kind of imagine it would be a similar feeling. You just kind of just drive, crush everything. So anyway.
All right, let me see who's doing
coming. To give James the idea, maybe he'll build one. Right.
Yeah, maybe he'll do it
next to the.
The one other thing I wanted to mention about this movie was that they released it in a couple theaters in something called Sound 360. Did they have Dolby Surround Sound back then yet?
They used to have called Sense Around, which I think was just a lot of speakers. But I don't know if Dolby was quite around quite yet. Dolby had come out, I want to say till the 80s, but
yeah, maybe the 80s. They released this thing in a few places with something called Sound 360. And it wasn't just that the sound was all around you, is that it caused vibrations. So in different levels of vibration. So you kind of heard and felt the movie, which is interesting. I think that's interesting. But only a few theaters had it. So almost no one got to feel it.
I think there was a thing in the 70s called, like it says, Sense Around. I think they did like the movie Earthquake. They had Earthquake in Sense Around. They did, and they also did when they aired the pilot for Battlestar Galactica. That also was in Sense Around. So I think it's very loud. It's a lot of bass
and rumbly.
I think is what it is. Yeah. It's very rumbly. But I don't think it was true Dolby surround sound. I don't think that came out till the 80s. See, John's saying Dolby was 1980. So the really true Dolby setup wasn't until sometime in the 80s. Yeah, I don't know exactly when that came about. Because, the original Star Wars, it was in mono. When it first, in 77. The original cut was mono. Mono, wasn't even stereo.
Yeah.
So, anyway, well, all right. I knew we were going to have a lot on this movie, but sorry you didn't enjoy it. Can't win them all. But our audience did enjoy it. So
I enjoy the truck. I think the truck is great.
The truck is awesome. So I don't know what we want to do next week. If you want to do one of the movies we talked about,
may as well do the day after. I mean, at this point, we're halfway.
Yeah, I gotta hope if I can find it, assuming it's available somewhere to watch.
Yes, probably. Yeah, if it's available, I'll look and then we'll find out. So all right, Roy. This Friday, Roy is going to do the 1982 film based on the DC character of the same name. This is written and directed by Wes Craven. He is doing Swamp Thing, which is a popular one. And then Phil will be on Thursday from 4 to 5. He'll have Tank Von Duel. Yes, that's his real name, Tank Von Duel, discussing his new project. I don't know how to say this, Phil. Is it Basil Ardor? Okay, sure. Friday Night Freeform is preempted because the students are taking over, but he will be on with Bill at noon to talk politics. That's all on WUSB Stony Brook.
Cool.
It's the car.
Right. Chicks dig the car. That's it. So it's one hell of a recreational vehicle. So, all right. On that note, I guess I got nothing else, so we'll wrap it up a little bit early tonight. We're not that early, just a few minutes.
We're 5 minutes early.
So, so before I go, just one more push. Galileo Project, please. Share away. If you've already pledged, great. If you haven't, what are you waiting for?
If you're Bill Sotak and you're on the cruise, make the whole cruise donate.
I would hope. Well, the Okudas, I know the Okudas did mention it in their talk.
Oh, good.
So hopefully we'll get maybe a boost when people get some time to. I know there's internet on.
Yeah, maybe when they're done and the cruise comes home.
I hope. I know Shatner's there too. I don't doubt he'll mention it, but Darren, of course, is there, and Darren is obviously well aware of it too. I'm sure spreading it with the Trexperts. So I'm hoping we're going to at least push off of that if we haven't already. So. But hopefully next week, maybe we'll have some more good news. We'll see what next week brings.
We hit that third goal. Like I would love that.
Checking the site because we are dropping new awards, or whatever I call them, perks. Every week we're going to drop some new stuff. So you never know what you might miss. Because like we had a NASA for 6 people for a Houston tour behind the scenes. And that went in half an hour. We only had one of those available. So, all right. On that note, we'll say good night. Live long and prosper. And may the force be with you always. Good night.